And welcome to the GEICO 15 Minutes or Less Coaches Show with the head coach of the College of Charleston, Doug Wojcik. It's brought to you, as always, by GEICO, where 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on your car insurance. Call GEICO at 1-800-947-AUTO. That's 1-800-947-AUTO, or visit them online at geico.com. And with that, we welcome you down to the court here inside TD Arena alongside the head coach. I'm Jeff McCarriger. Thanks for watching for what we were hoping is not going to be our final podcast. We'd like to do one more here as we make a run here in the CAA tournament. We'll see what, yeah, we'd like to do 3 more, yeah. Make a nice little run. Coach, before we talk about the CAA tournament, let's wrap up the week. Exciting game for you guys here at home against Delaware, and let's just kind of go through that. First things first, senior night, you start all 4 seniors, and Judson Hall hits the first 3-pointer just like last year with Bart Benton, and the place goes crazy. It was a great start to the game.
Yeah, it's a great tradition. In fact, Bart was sitting across from our bench during the game, and we thought Baptiste would be guarding Judson, so we didn't think he'd come out and guard him, so we ran a play for him to rotate up for a 3, and we did it twice, and actually he was open on the second one too, but just told him to let it fly, and he got 2 rebounds, and just you know, it's just nice to be a part of, you know, potentially an athletic moment for somebody, you know, whether it was Bart Benton's last year or Judson's this year. You know, Judson and Willis and Leo, my wife and I, all went to Haiti last year, and just a really cool way to sort of end his career here at TD Arena.
We'll talk to Judson Hall here coming up in just a few minutes here in the second half of the show. He was so excited, he was trying to make it rain after that 3-pointer going back down the other side. He started getting cocky about it.
But he's pretty funny in practice. He's pretty sarcastic, and it didn't surprise me one bit. But yeah, it showed that we were loose, and you know, it's just amazing. Just you know, we shoot the ball well, and we can make some threes, and he got us off to a good start, and you know, we played a great college basketball game. It was a great game.
As far as losses go, it was actually an exciting loss. You guys put up 86 points, lose 89-86 to a very good Delaware team with a lot of really good scores. We talked about it all season long. They're a very good basketball team.
Yeah, oh yeah, they've got their school's all-time leading scorer. So Delaware's probably been playing basketball for 100 years, and he's scored more points than anybody in a Delaware uniform. And then the Usher kid's a great player, and they shoot the ball really, really well. And I think Baptiste is right there with Scott Etherton as the best post player in the league, and he showed that with his scoring ability. But you know, it's funny. It's a great game because you score 86, but ultimately, you know, you want the balance between the offense and the defense as a coach. You really do. I mean, I know it's fun for fans, but losing's losing. That's no fun for me. I was proud of the way the guys performed, though, particularly after not scoring at Wilmington and at Drexel. But you know, you just can't give up 89 points and expect to win games.
On a positive note, Canyon Berry goes for 27 points. You know, also during the game, the 1994 team, their banner's hanging right above our heads here. The first NCAA tournament team here at the college was honored. And I didn't realize this until after the game, but Canyon Berry, who finished with 27 points, just 2 shy of the freshman record, held by Rodney Connor, who was on that 94 team. I talked to him about it afterwards. Rodney was sweating it out watching that game, yeah.
Really? I didn't know anything about that. But yeah, it was a great day. We had Legends Day. I think we should mention that. Besides Senior Day, we had Legends Day. So you honored the 64 team and you honored the 94 team. We had a great reception afterwards, and I had a chance to speak to them. And I've really gotten close with Anthony Johnson's group, which would be that mid-90s group, and then of course Mark McClam and Sam Hare in that group, which would have been Coach Kress's first group of guys. So it's nice to see those guys, and they want to see the program moving forward. They're really supportive, and just a bunch of good guys doing good things in life.
Coach, we got a lot to talk about. We got to get to William and Mary here, and we got to try and do it in 15 minutes or less. But quickly again, Canyon Berry with a really good game, 27 points, only 2 turnovers. I thought he did a really good job. Theo Johnson, I want to get your comments on him real quick. Didn't get a chance to talk to you too much after the game, but Theo's really played well in the last couple of games. Where do you see his game? How has he developed, and where do you see him next year?
Yeah, he's got to continue to. He's a runner and jumper, and what I was proud of is he made his free throws at Drexel. big thing there. He's got to continue to work on his ball handling. We had a tough turnover there in the middle of the floor, but Theo does a great job of going to the offensive glass, and he's a long athlete that can really defend multiple positions. So he's developing pretty nicely right now.
Adjehi Baru, I thought, had a really good game for you also, almost a double-double. I think he only played, 24 minutes or so, and also had 4 assists, I think it was, in that game, and no turnovers.
Yeah, he really passed the ball well on their post dig. What I mean by that is when the ball goes in the post, their guard comes down and tries to flush it out of there. And I thought he showed great signs. I thought Adjehi showed signs that, I think we'd been hoping for and waiting for. I love the reverse pivot jump shot that he took. I think that would be a great thing to incorporate into his game. So yes, very good signs there, and very good signs from David Wishon.
And of course the highlight dunk by Brew too, and he and Baptiste were going back and forth there with a couple exchanges, and Brew went up and dunked over the top of him, brought the crowd to life here.
Yeah, and we've shown him on tape several times this year where he's had that opportunity close to the basket, and he's kind of hesitated, and I thought that was just a great play and to finish it. And then I think his free throw shooting has kind of settled out a little bit. I think I can't remember exactly, was it the Northeastern game, maybe 0 for 7. And since that time, I think he's kind of settled out a little bit with that and made his free throws. And all that will be really, really important going into a new venue on Saturday up at the Baltimore Arena against William & Mary. It's just any points you can score, you need to score. And that would give us the best chance of winning the tournament.
And with that, let's transition into the CAA tournament coming up this weekend. We found out Saturday night after Hofstra won at home that we would be the number 6 seed to take on William & Mary. So I really like this. You and I were just talking about this. A good matchup for us. I went 1-1 against them, really played well at their place, led by 9 at the half, and of course, probably one of the best games we've ever had against them here at home, and we scored 87 points.
Yeah, I mean, played real well. I mean, we've outscored them in 3 of the 4 halves we've played them, and they have an all-league player in Marcus Thornton, first team all-league player. So they've got one of the best 5 players in the league. It really scores the ball well, and they've got a great system, and they've got 4 seniors. So their system's pretty good. They went on to win 10 games in the league. Our records were reverse, and yet at the same time we could have won 10 games. Not much difference there. We rebound the ball well. I'm sure they have their concerns about us because I think we defend what they do pretty well, and they rely on a 3-point line. You go in a new venue like the Baltimore Arena and try to depend on 3-point shooting. It's a little dicey. So it's a good matchup for us. And then of course on our side is Towson, versus on the other side Drexel, Delaware, and Northeastern. It's a very, very good draw. In a lot of ways, you want to win the league, but there's no buys in this league. I came from a league that in the Southern Conference or Conference USA that there were buys that you were playing for. You're not playing for a buy. You're really kind of playing for matchups, and it's a good matchup for us.
Well, speaking of good matchups, again, the last time you guys played William & Mary here on this court, I just mentioned 87 points. You had 4 players in double figures, but defensively, you guys were also terrific. We talked about this after the game. Probably one of the best all-rounded games that you guys played on both sides of the ball. And I think it was Theo Johnson who did a great job on Marcus Thornton, just 9 points.
Yeah, they did. Did a great job, and again, that's the second time we've seen him. I mean, the first time through the league, you see somebody the first time, you don't know him quite as well. And I look at what we've done throughout the league, and we've made great adjustments on different teams. And we made great adjustments on William & Mary. So it was a very good game here, you're not going to shoot it like that. We had good fortune that night. I mean, you can't expect to beat somebody by 33, who's the 3rd team in the league, who's got one of the top 5 players. But it was a complete game for us.
That'll wrap up the first half of the show. When we come back, we will talk to one of the stars of the game on Saturday night from here inside TD Arena, Judson Hall with the 3-pointer. We'll talk with him. And, of course, we'll wrap things up with a preview of the CAA, get more on coaches' comments as well in the second half of the show here on the GEICO 15 Minutes or Less podcast.
GEICO says, let's make life simpler.
Look, I'm all for modern conveniences. But ask yourself, do you really need a blender with 23 buttons just to chop an onion? At GEICO, we think life should be simpler. So we make it super simple to save on car insurance. Just one click and you could be on your way to saving hundreds. Come on, people. Life doesn't have to be that complicated.
GEICO. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Welcome back inside the GEICO 15 Minutes or Less Coaches Show with the head coach, Doug Wojcik. I'm Jeff McCarriger. Coach, we're starting to run out of time already. Let's get right to Judson Hall and his career here at the College of Charleston. We've been featuring all 4 seniors here over the last 4 weeks. And we wrap up with Judson again, who had a great moment hitting that 3 here on his start on senior day. Great moment for him. And what a nice career he's had helping you guys out behind the scenes on the scout team.
Yeah, you know, when I got here 2 years ago, basically, you know, who is this Judson Hall character, you know, because he wasn't really on the team. There was no locker with his name on it, and you know, I was just trying to figure all that out, and you know, really gotten to know Judson and made him more, you know, like if you're on the team, hey, everyone's got to be at practice and everyone's got to do the same things, and so we're going to hold the walk-ons as accountable as the players and vice versa, and you get the same things, and it's just worked out really, really well to have both of them on the team, and you're able to, you know, talk about other things with Judson and Willis together. Their mom has been incredibly supportive and wonderful with them, and you know, he's done a great job. He can really shoot the basketball, and kind of a jack of all trades, plays multiple positions for us, and you know, kind of keeps things light. You know, everyone likes Judson, and every team needs kind of a guy like that. And you know, I couldn't be happier. I mean, just the fact that he made, you know, I was so happy to start him. And I said, okay, Willis, you got Baptiste, and you know, Judson, you're going to take Anderson, and you know, we made our matchups, and you know, got us off to a great start. So if you can be a part of that and make somebody's you know, short athletic career memorable, it's a wonderful feeling.
Of course, Judson Hall, just 14 months younger than his older brother Willis, got a chance to catch up with Judson as we continue our senior features and go one-on-one. All right, we're here with Judson Hall, one of the 4 seniors on this year's basketball team, and we are actually standing right on the spot where on Saturday, Judson, again, one of the seniors who got the start, hit a big shot, the first points of the game, a 3-pointer to put the College of Charleston on top early. Great moment for you, just like Bart Benton last year. You got the start on senior day and hit the first shot. I'm sure that was a fun time for you.
Right, yeah, it was a great experience. We practiced it the day before and ran through the play, and I was a little bit uncomfortable, but after running a few times, I got more and more used to it.
Yeah, Coach was just telling us that was actually a design play that you guys ran, so you knew that you were going to get the ball. You almost got it again. I think they ran a second play for you, but I think Stick took it.
Yeah, I was open first, and I didn't think we were going to run the play because like they thought, you know, the big man would be on me, and I mean, I'm not on the scouting report, so he was playing off, and I thought they were going to pass me the ball, and then Stick called the play, so we ran the play, and then we came back down that third possession, and he called it again but pulled it up. So I've been giving him a little crap about it.
That was a great highlight again, just like last year with Bart being a senior, getting his first starts and hitting the 3. Judson comes in, does the exact same thing, gets the crowd going. Of course, disappointing loss for you guys. It was exciting. You guys scored 86 points and lost. But just talk to us about that night and what senior night was like, especially being next to your brother Willis.
It was great, man. Just being able to start was an awesome experience. You know, my family's in town, so we got to see them. I don't really see them a whole lot during the season. So it was just a great experience, and it's kind of crazy looking now that really was our last game here at home. So looking forward to get going on the tournament.
Again, as most of you know, Judson and Willis are only 14 months apart. I asked Willis about this a couple weeks ago when we talked to him, but how competitive were you guys growing up? I mean, that had to be a lot of fun, being so close together in age, 14 months apart. And when did you guys really first start getting competitive against each other in basketball?
I can't say we were always like too competitive against each other because we used to always work out together, but it was always with kids in the neighborhood, and we had 2 older kids in the neighborhood who used to always think they could beat us, and it was always me and Willis versus those other 2 kids. But whenever we played one-on-one, it always ended up in some sort of argument or some sort of, you know, deal to where, you know, we thought the other one was being cheap or you know, something like that.
Well, let's talk about your career here and your role here at the College of Charleston. Coach and I were just talking about this, how important your role is. I mean, you're joking about how you don't get a chance to start. You're not on the scouting report. But, you know, what you guys do behind the scenes on the scout team to help prepare the starters is so important. I mean, these guys spend hours trying to practice what the opposing team is going to do so our guys can defend it. One of my favorite stories, you and I were just talking about it, was actually last year at Marist. I think it was over Christmas break. And Marist had about 10 days off before their first game. We were playing Vermont, but you guys were crunching for about 48 hours before playing Marist, because Marist is playing a Princeton-style offense. So talk about the preparation for that. I know you guys were in the hotel room getting everything, and just tell that story about what happened at Marist.
Yeah, and a lot of people think it's just, we sit on the bench and don't do anything, just kind of hang out and practice, but it really is. We have to learn pretty much the entire opposing team's offensive playbook within, a day or two, and then run it to perfection in practice for these guys, and we have to mimic these other players. Well, we were just coming off of Vermont, and we had, one practice, one day of prep for Marist. So we didn't have a ballroom in the hotel like, some of these bigger hotels that we go to. So we were in this weight room that was maybe 10 by 20 feet, full of treadmills and, like a water cooler and whatnot. And we were trying to put together like some sort of diagram of like a floor. And we had like, a dumbbell or something we're throwing around as a ball. And we're trying to learn this Princeton offense, which is just a complicated offense, especially if you don't have any space to get the hang of it and run it. But we completely ran this offense in this weight room, and then we got on the floor, and of course our balance and everything was completely thrown off. So we were running these plays, as best as we could, messing them up, and we turned them into plays that really weren't supposed to be plays. But we did all this preparation, and we're stressing out over it so much that
for hours. You guys literally up late at night, early in the morning, trying to get ready for this.
It was great, and we did. I think we came in. They were trying to get our meal order, and we couldn't do our meal order yet because we had to finish the playbook. But turned out when the game came around, they ran absolutely zero of those plays, and it was like we had just done everything for nothing. And it was just, they just ran a completely different offense. Yeah. It's like we had no idea what had gone on.
Yeah, the head coach, I think if I remember right, that with the style of play that he had and the players that he had, he didn't like the Princeton offense anymore. So over Christmas break, he decided to completely change the offense. So here you guys are, all set up for the Princeton-style offense for hours practicing, and they come out and they're doing some sort of ball screen offense, completely different. But again, Coach was talking about how important that is. These guys do a great job. And as we wrap things up, where do you see your future now? What are your plans here after college?
I'm not really sure quite yet. I want to travel a good bit. I want to at least see some part of the world, One of my best friends from high school wants to go to Brazil for the World Cup this summer, so I'd like to go try and do that.
Any thoughts of coaching at all?
I've thought about it, but I don't know. I kind of want to take a break for a little bit. So.
All right, that's Judson Hall again, one of the 4 seniors. And before we go, again, on Saturday, this is the spot where he hit the shot, the three-pointer to give the Cougars the early lead, of course, ignited the crowd. We are going to reenact it, see if you can do it again. Anybody? You got all your guys behind you here. Anybody going to put any bets down? All right, let's see if we can do it again. Oh! Thanks for your time.
Yeah, no problem.
Appreciate it. That's Judson Hall. Great to catch up with Judson Hall, another one of the 4 seniors that we were able to highlight over the last 4 weeks. Coach, we've got to wrap things up here quickly. How do you feel like the team is starting to come together? Obviously a great offensive game against Delaware the other night. How are you feeling here as we are just a few days away from Baltimore?
Well, you couldn't ask for anything better going into the tournament that we scored it, because you scored against William & Mary, and then you get away from that over the next 2 games at Wilmington and Drexel. So you're able to kind of build off of that, particularly the way Canyon played. I thought he played great. I thought, again, Adjehi showed great signs. I thought Anthony Stitt had really good pace to him and ran the team. So all that bodes well. We're on spring break, so there's a lot of free time to some degree. We gave him off Sunday and Monday. Willis is, he's still hampered, a little bit, and Adjehi, his knee. So it's really kind of about feeling good and getting up there and getting settled. And it's really not about pound and practice. I think less is better right now. Go up there, play loose, be prepared, and see what happens. you know, there's not anybody in our path that we haven't played with and had a chance to win, so and beat. So I think its mental state is the most important thing. And it's kind of quiet around here right now. I feel bad for the guys. I mean, quite honestly, I mean, they don't get Thanksgiving. They only get 3 days at Christmas, and it's cold out. You're acting like we're in Miami right now. I've got my sweatshirt on because it's cold.
I'm doing a good acting job.
You are doing a good. You're doing a good acting job, but quite honestly, it's kind of quiet around here, and there's not great college basketball games on at night right now. Now, I know the kids were excited last night because LeBron had 61, so they enjoyed watching that. But I think it's more that type of an environment than it is just, you know, pound, 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 pound. I want to be loose. I want to go have fun with it.
Should be fun. Should be exciting. Thanks for your time. We'll talk to you later this
Thanks,
week.
Jeff.
Doug Wojcik, head coach for the Cougars, against Saturday, 8:30 as the College of Charleston takes on William and Mary. And, of course, we'll be able to follow us along the road here in Baltimore on cofcsports.com. We'll have different features for you for each one of the games as we go along. So thanks for tuning in. We'll talk to you again later right here on cofcsports.com.